have been an anime fan since I was 11, and back when I started out it was seen as quite taboo. People would often make fun of me for liking it because they saw me as childish or weird for liking something they didn't know much about, or in the worst instances, they would bring up the dreaded H word. However, over the years it's become a much more acceptable pastime. Don't get me wrong, in the UK if you're caught wearing a Demon Slayer hoodie in a secondary school, you will get made fun of. But if you say to a person you just met you like anime, most decent people will reply by being slightly put off by your nerd shit at worst, or reply with, yeah, I've seen a few, like Attack on Titan at best. Despite it being much more acceptable, there are still some people that are put off by anime as a genre, whether it's the stereotypically cartoony style and the giant eyes, the weird tropes like tsunderes, the fanbase, or even just a lack of maturity. It's easy for people to be put off by it. Honestly, I get it, especially when a lot of the popular anime coming out is shonen, and I personally tend not to like shows like Jujutsu Kaisen because I find a lot of the action-focused anime boring, like, oh great, another tournament arc, wow, the opening is playing in the final fight scene, oh look, some more Sakuga, how amazing. At this stage it feels like, yeah, I've seen all of them, because once you've seen one, you've seen them all. Because a lot of these fight-centered anime are aimed towards young boys, so it makes sense that a lot of people don't have time for shows like this. This is why it annoys me a lot of the time when people recommend animes to beginners like Demon Slayer, because I don't think this is the best that anime has to offer. Often the person viewing the show gets bored and wants something more, I guess you could say, grown up. Anime is grown up! I hear you shout from the distance. Okay, then recommend an anime to prove this. So, out of the many anime I have seen, I have created a list of anime that may appeal to you if you don't like anime, or if you've seen some of the popular ones and you're looking for something new. I am very passionate about anime, and I believe that it has some of the best pieces of media released in recent years, so it will be a shame for people to miss out on some amazing stories. So without further ado, here is the list. Monster. For me, this anime is probably the most obvious to include on the list. The first thing you notice about it is that it does not look like other anime. He's not like other girls. The colours are muted and grey, creating this dark, sombre atmosphere that encompasses the anime perfectly. The animation is much more realistic, with the eyes being small and bodies less cartoonish. The style is much more toned down for a reason. The story doesn't need dramatisation. The story is probably one of the most interesting in anime. We follow Dr. Tenma, who is a surgeon who seems to have quite a nice life. One day he has to decide whether to save a child or the mayor. This choice will play on his mind for the rest of his life. We follow Tenma through many twists and turns that leave you quickly ploughing through the 70 episodes, trying to solve mysteries along with him. I wouldn't say this anime is for people who are looking for a big epic fight scene or flashy animation. This is for people who want something raw and philosophical. Plus, people will see the cover of the show and not be blinded like when people see something like My Hero Academia that screams, I like anime! If you enjoy things like Sherlock, Memento or Death Note, this mystery may be for you. Ghibli movies. Something that I have always found strange when talking to people who dislike anime is that they seem to have at least seen at least one Ghibli film that they liked. I don't really understand it because while sure, something like Grave of the Fireflies is very unique, the more popular ones like Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away have a lot of the weirdness that people tend to stray away from in anime. Obviously not the sexual kind because, it's for children, but Spirited Away is a mindfuck from start to finish. I think it's because a lot of people view Ghibli as being the Japanese equivalent to Disney, and nothing is more normal than Disney. Plus, animation is quite desaturated when it comes to Ghibli and calm compared to the usual anime vibrosity. A few of the obvious picks for Ghibli would be Ponyo, Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke if you want something a little bit more serious. They are all pretty safe if you like Disney, especially Ponyo if you've ever seen Nemo, or Princess Mononoke if you liked Mulan. There are a lot of less obvious picks though that I would like to recommend, because I've seen every Ghibli movie, so I know a lot of the hidden gems that are discussed much less. If you enjoy Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, Empire of the Sun, or want to cry yourself to sleep, I would recommend Grave of the Fireflies. It's one of those heartbreaking films that you only watch once because you never want to experience that hurt again. I would even say that it's one of the most heartbreaking war films I have ever seen. This film's creation is thanks to Isao Takata, who's probably one of my most favourite directors. He directed The Tale of Princess Kaguya, which is, in my opinion, better than any Disney princess movie. It's animated in a traditional Japanese style and sends shivers down my spine whenever I watch it. The story isn't exactly one with twists and turns, but it's beautiful. Only Yesterday is also a very good Ghibli movie, directed by him, but it's very slow, so I wouldn't recommend it as a first anime, but it does a great job of showing what it's like to grow up and realise what you want from life. Overall, you would be hard pressed to go wrong with a Ghibli movie. Just look up the genre and see if it's something you'd like, you'll probably do just fine. Unless you don't like Disney or crying, then I guess you shouldn't watch Ghibli movies. Satoshi Kon. If you're an anime fan, you're bound to have heard of this name by now. Satoshi Kon is my favourite director of all time, even trumping David Fincher. The first film I saw of his was Perfect Blue, and I have seen this film at least 10 times since. As a young anime fan who had only seen things like Host Club and Sword Art and crap, I was blown away by how smart it was. I realised anime didn't have to be funny and silly with bright colours, but it could be serious. Perfect Blue isn't exactly normal. The plot is incredibly confusing, and I would recommend you look up the trigger warnings before watching this anime because oh my god is it graphic. The graphic nature is exacerbated by the style, which is similar to that of Monster, making everything feel more real. It's about a girl called Mima, who used to be a pop idol but decides to move into the acting world. But she faces trials and tribulations as her old self won't leave her alone. God is it confusing. If you liked Black Swan, then there is no way you will not love Perfect Blue. It's clear that Black Swan took a lot of inspiration from it, even down to the camera angles. Just a perfect film in my opinion. If you want something a little lighter, maybe give Millennium Actress a try. It's less popular, but because it's Satoshi Kon, of course it's amazing. We follow a filmmaker who is making a documentary about the actress Chiyoko, as we cross the line between her past and the films she starred in, creating a story about love and success. It really knows how to pull at your heartstrings. It makes me sad that we will never get another Satoshi Kon film because of his passing, but the best we can do is keep celebrating him so we can inspire future filmmakers to create more amazing anime. Romance. If action and mindfuck isn't really your style, then maybe you would like to give a try to some romance. No, nothing with the unusual tropes and fan service, good raw drama and stories to make your heart sing. I tried to stay away from anime set in high school because that's where annoying tropes tend to come in. However, a lot of them are really good and manage to stay away from the tropes. For example, we have A Silent Voice. There is a new transfer student in an elementary school called Shoko, and this causes quite the stir because she is deaf. A character that doesn't respond well to this is Shoya, who proceeds to bully her. We see him in the start to be completely irritable because he is a basically selfish little child who picks on people. We see him get his comeuppance as he gets older because after being thrown out of his social circle for being horrible, he gets extreme social anxiety. This anime really asks the question, can people change? In a way that will tug at your heartstrings and make you forget that you're watching a cartoon. A cartoon which is stunning with beautiful pastel colours and smooth animation. Breathtaking. If you've ever struggled with anxiety or bullying, this anime will hit you 10 times harder and I urge you to give it a try. If you're looking for something more adult, then some josei may be more your speed. If you're new to anime, josei is basically anime made for older women. They often are set in offices or cover much more mature themes. Sadly, it's less popular than shoujo or shonen or even seinen because some of it is really amazing, but it's aimed at older women who tend to be less likely to watch anime. I think the most popular example would be Nana. We follow two girls, both called Nana, in their early 20s as they tackle adulthood and relationships. The first Nana is quite naive and is moving to Japan to live with her boyfriend, and the other Nana is the complete opposite. She is alternative and effortlessly cool, making music in a band. We see them form a strong relationship through the show that is riddled with lesbian subtext as they both adventure through their respective love lives. A lot of serious subject matter is covered and almost none of the characters are completely clean by the end of the 47 episode runtime. A warning before you watch it though, episodes 6 and 7 are basically recaps for some reason, and the animation is not everyone's taste at all. It definitely has the anime eyes and the foreheads are massive for some reason. However, if you're into fashion, you will not be disappointed because it feels like each character has their own personal style. If this anime is too long for you, the same creator Aizawa also made Paradise Kiss. While this is set in high school, the anime is still very mature and focuses on a group of fashion students who employ the high school student Yukari to be their model. They make her question everything, and we see her become rebellious as she stops attending school. If you like fashion, you will love this anime, and the romance is good, but sad. I would say that Nana is superior though, but they are both worth watching. Finally, I'm going to recommend perhaps the most obvious option. It goes without saying that Cowboy Bebop is the perfect anime for the non-anime fan. The style is reminiscent of a comic book style and is pretty amazing. It's clear that the director Watanabe was inspired by old Western American cinema and sci-fi. If you like the idea of a mix of early Star Wars and cowboy bounty hunters that have better sight scenes, characters, and deeper messages than its modern equivalent, Guardians of the Galaxy, you are bound to love Cowboy Bebop and join in on a group of nerds like me who spend their days picking apart every scene because the show is brilliant. Overall, there are a lot of anime that exceed expectations. I could definitely make a part 2 if anyone wants more suggestions. If you're still not into anime after checking out some of these shows, then that's okay. Not everyone can enjoy it at the end of the day. It's just a shame that people don't get to experience the amazing content that I and many other fans have. Sorry if I haven't been quite as active on here. I was settling into a new job which I found quite stressful, but now I'm back. Plus, I've had a cold for a while, so I can't sing, which is sad but exciting because things are coming. Thank you for all the support on my Duvet cover. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment some more anime for non-anime fans that you would recommend. And subscribe. Thank you for watching.